Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Replay Metal Gear Solid.
Snake, be careful. There are claymore mines around there. Use a mine detector.
Who are you?
Just call me Deep Throat.
Deep Throat? The informant from the Watergate scandal?
Never mind about that.
You're not using burst transmission. Are you nearby?
Listen, there's a tank in front of your position waiting to ambush you.
Who are you anyway?
One of your fans.
Well, that's helpful, but yes, if you recall, last time we got the mine detector, and if we check the Soliton radar node that we have equipped, we can see the claymores, and unlike Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake and Ghost Babel, we can actually see which direction they're facing. No, claymores do a lot of damage, especially if it's one you placed. In fact, if you step on one you placed, I believe that's an instant kill. So, don't do that. Mind you, claymores aren't terribly useful. They have a use coming up, but I don't really use them for that. I only really use claymores one time, fairly late in the game.
This is Raven's territory. Snakes don't belong in Alaska. I will not let you pass. Send him a message. That's right, you belong on the ground. You should crawl on the ground like the snake you are. Come, let's fight.
Snake, look out for that tank's main gun. It'll pulverize you. There should be some way. Ask Nastasha. She knows everything there is to know about weapon systems.
That M1 tank is equipped with advanced Victronics. Once it locks onto a target, it automatically tracks it. And its main gun is effective up to 3,000 meters. To get close, you'll have to confuse its tracking system. Use your chaff. If you can jam the system and get close enough, it won't be able to use its main gun. Use your chaff at a long distance to fool its electronic systems.
So yeah, now we're fighting a tank, and we should take their advice and use a chaff grenade, because the tank is actually pretty lethal. At my stage in health, if one shot from its main cannon will do about 3/4 or maybe even half of my health. We don't want that to happen. However, the fight is thankfully very easy, as long as you run up to it. You can use claymores to damage it, but the way I always do it is grenades, because if you get one right up there or even into the hole where the driver is, that's half its health gone. By the way, in Twin Snakes, the way you finish this thing off is ridiculous.
You like this?
Because Snake throws a grenade into the main cannon and shoots it. Either way, Vulcan Raven's actually voiced by Peter Lurie, who was the guy who voiced the Armstead president's son. I mostly know him as Sabretooth from a lot of the Marvel stuff, though.
Well, boss, I hope you are happy. He got the card.
We'll play with him a little longer.
You would be wise not to underestimate him.
What did you think of him?
He is just as you said. In battle, he is as if possessed by a demon. Much like you, I would expect no less.
See? I told you so. But I will kill him.
So, General Ivan, I hear he took your hand as well as your dignity.
Watch your tongue, shaman.
In the language of the Sioux people, Sioux means snake. It is known as an animal to be feared.
Well, Snake is mine now. When I meet him next, I'll take special care of him. Not yet. Don't kill him yet.
He and I will meet again. again in battle.
Same prediction as always.
Yes, the raven on my head. It thirsts for his blood.
Well, that was a cutscene. I'm not sure how he survived 2 grenades being more or less above his head, but I'll take it. And now we're in the nuclear warhead disposal building, or storage building, one of the two, that Merrill told us about last time, as did the Armstack president. And if you come up here, you get us a ration. And I forget if I mentioned it already, but when you beat a boss, not only does your health increase, but as does your ammo count. So now I can hold more rations and ammo. Not too bad of an upgrade system, honestly. I've seen worse. Plus, it at least makes you feel like you're progressing in the game, in numerous ways, too. Though I question how smoking a cigarette makes me healthier, technically. Unless it's just increasing, like, my stamina or something. I don't know. And here we are. Time for the really annoying rule of this place.
Be careful. You absolutely must not use weapons in that area.
I've already programmed the nanomachine so that he won't be able to, Colonel.
What? What are you talking about?
Have you forgotten? That's where they keep the nuclear warheads. Can't you see them?
Yeah, there's lots of boxes piled up here, but are they all warheads?
Yes, they're all dismantled warheads.
They just leave them here? It's like President Baker said. Totally careless.
They're working on a limited budget. They try to put on a pretty face for the media, but this is the grim reality of it. Nastasha knows lots more about it than I do.
All of the warheads in those boxes have had their detonation mechanisms removed, so there's no fear of them exploding. But if the warheads are broken, they might leak plutonium, and that would be a serious problem.
Snake, never use your weapon on that floor.
Snake, that is a nuclear warhead storage area.
Are all these filled with nuclear warheads?
Yes, but their detonation mechanisms have been removed.
So I don't have to worry about this island turning into a pile of smoking rubble.
No, but if the casing is damaged, they may be leaking nuclear materials. Please, make sure you do not use your gun around there.
You know, technically speaking, if I were to say plant C4 on the nuclear stuff, and then blow it up, wouldn't I technically get rid of Metal Gear? Just saying. Either way, completely stupid solutions to really complicated problems aside, yeah, we can't use any of our weapons in here, aside from chaff grenades for some reason. I'm assuming because there's a camera somewhere in this room. And now I'm in a bit of a pickle. Thankfully, while these guys have better vision than all the Metal Gear guards to date, they can't see me past stairs because I'm on a lower altitude. Now, you see, if this was Metal Gear 1, they would be able to see me. I think. I know something similar happened to me when I was backtracking at one point in 2 Solid Snake. Oh well. Though another really stupid rule about this room is that you can't use your weapons aside from chaff grenades, obviously, but they can use theirs. What? I mean, sure, they know not to aim for you, but who's to say they wouldn't accidentally hit them? I mean, bullets travel far after all. Either way, our goal is actually on the second basement floor, but we want to come to the first basement floor first to get something in this room. Or more accurately, one of the little branch-off rooms to the right and left. And here we get a Nikita launcher and the Nikita missiles. The Nikita stuff, because I don't think it was called that back in Ghost Babel, that is this game's remote-controlled missile. We're going to need that coming up, so make sure you grab that. Yet again, I really wish there was elevator music. I know the elevator trips in this game are pretty short, but still, it would have been funny. Either way, time for this floor's annoying gimmick.
Snake, watch out. That place is filled with gas. Also, the floor is electrified. First, destroy the high voltage switch. It's the switchboard on the northwest wall.
But how? I can't reach it.
Use a remote-controlled missile.
Now you know why I got the Nikita. And the Nikita, thankfully, does have a first-person mode. To use it, just hold triangle. Either way, this thing works in a bit of an odd way. It moves forward, but after you stay in a certain direction long enough, like 2 seconds, not even, it speeds up. It did the same thing in Ghost Babel. In fact, you needed that to do that to get past cameras. But here, it's much easier to control. And our goal is just to my left. Kaboom. But yeah, we're in a poison gas, which, like all the previous Metal Gears, we can't hold our breath for too long in. If you try to, your HP will slowly deplete, and then you will die. Thankfully, you can refill your oxygen pretty quickly. Either way, even though we got rid of the electrified flooring, I still want to use some chaff grenades around here because there are some items I can pick up from around these cameras, which, by the way, these are gun cameras. I do not believe they actually trigger an alarm. I'm probably horribly wrong about that, but I don't care. I know for a fact there's only really one camera here that actually sends you into an alert phase, but still, it's better safe than sorry with my HP. Oh, did I miss a room? Yeah, I did. Well, that's a level 4 room, that's why. Thankfully, that's one thing I'll give this game, is that it was the first game that we've actually played to actually label doors. Seeing the evolution of concepts. It's really cool, but it's also really annoying because that means you have to deal with the dumb concepts first. Usually. Either way, we want to head in here because we get something pretty important. A ration. Wait, which room is that in? Oh no, that's a room below me. Right. Because you might have noticed, we're in gas, but this is the first Metal Gear where we reach gas before we reach a gas mask. Well, that's only for a very short time because the gas mask is right here. Like in previous Metal Gears, you equip it on your item slot, and your oxygen depletion is lowered. Tremendously, even. Either way, let's see what's past here. That sounded like it sucked. Let's see what's going on in here.
Like they were cut by some type of blade. It's a ghost.
Well, this just got really dark. Either way, this is a level 4 door, but thankfully, that guy broke it so we can still enter even with a level 3 keycard. Thank you, plot convenience.
Stealth camouflage? Who are you?
Where is my friend?
What are you talking about? Oh, what next?
Snake.
You're that ninja.
I've been waiting for you, Snake.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend. I am back from a world where such words are meaningless. I've removed all obstacles. Now you and I will battle to the death.
What do you want?
I've waited a long time for this day. Now I want to enjoy the moment.
What's with these guys? It's like one of my Japanese animes.
I've come from another world to do battle with you.
What is it, revenge?
It is nothing so trivial as revenge. A fight to the death with
soul find respect. I will kill you, or you will kill me. It makes no difference. Fine. He can watch from inside there.
I need that man. Keep your hands off him.
Now, make me feel it. Make me feel alive again.
If you have a question about members of Foxhound, you should ask Naomi.
I'm sorry, but there's no one in Foxhound like that. There are currently only 6 members of Foxhound. Psycho Mantis, Sniper Wolf, Vulcan Raven, Decoy Octopus, Revolver Ocelot, and finally Liquid Snake. The Genome soldiers under his command are next-generation special forces. Foxhound is intended to be a small number of highly elite, hand-picked soldiers.
You're talking about the current Foxhound, right?
Yes.
Snake, who or what is that thing? Is he an enemy or not? That's what I'd like to know. Naomi, you really don't have any idea?
Maybe I should ask you the same thing.
What?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Look at him move. He must have some kind of powered exoskeleton.
Powered exoskeleton? You mean like prosthetic arms and legs?
No, prosthetics are intended to replace original body parts. That ninja's exoskeleton makes him far stronger than any normal human. He is a true cyborg, a cybernetic organism.
So he's half machine, huh?
I heard rumors about the experiments, but I had no idea that such a creature really existed.
Alright, wow, now we can finally talk about this fight. Mr. Ninja here is actually pretty tricky to start off with. He likes to jump around and use his sword a lot, which does a decent chunk of damage. But you can thankfully cut him off, and that doesn't last too long.
Now we can fight as warriors, hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat. Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon.
For the most part, you're intended to take this fight with your fists only. However, there is a way to use a gun against him, because otherwise he'll just dodge it. And I think they even attack you in response for it. You would have to use a chaff grenade to confuse his systems, because, you know, exoskeleton meaning not fully optical eye vision thing. And then you can use a gun against him. However, I find the fight to be a lot more fun to do with his with the very stiff combat controls, even though it's a 3-hit combo. Thankfully, this fight isn't too bad, but he does a decent chunk of damage. Like, I think he'll kill you in 3 or 4 hits if you're at full health. So, watch out for that. But really, he just likes to flip around and try to hit you like that, which was kind of cheap, but oh well. Nothing too terribly hard. Though, fun fact, this guy, like Donald Anderson, the DARPA chief, is also voiced by Greg Eagles, meaning this guy is also voiced by the person who would later voice Grim in The Grim Adventures of Billy Mandy. I'm assuming he took 2 roles in the game because Donald Anderson only had like 4 lines. Well, not 4 lines, more like 40, but that's very little in the Metal Gear universe. Also, a cyborg ninja. That's a Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake reference if I've ever seen them. In fact, prepare to see that a lot in Metal Gear Solid. A lot of things that seem kind of familiar like that. Either way, the most annoying part about this fight is that this guy just doesn't like to stay still too long. Thankfully, you can, if you know how to abuse his AI, like him jumping over the walls and such, you can actually get some pretty cheap shots in on him.
That's good, Snake. Hurry up and catch me.
Now, what you're supposed to do here is keep in mind, well, first off, listen for where he lands, and then find him to punch him in this phase. But if you use the thermal goggles, which you're technically is an optional item at this point, you can just see where he is. It's very easy. Honestly, the first phase and the final phase coming up are probably the hardest ones.
Like old times. I've been waiting for this pain.
Huh, old times. Interesting. This phase, he just likes to teleport around behind you and try to punch you that way.
Hurt me more.
Nothing too bad. Either way, that scientist we saw talking there, is voiced by Christopher Randolph, and he's more or less only ever done this character. He was an...
That's it. I remember that punch.
As I was saying, he was also in an episode of Doogie Howser MD as a reporter, but that was like a one-time thing.
Do you remember, Snake? The feel of battle. The clashing of bone and sinew.
You know, now that he says that, this does seem kind of familiar beyond just the whole robot ninja thing. Something about this fight seems kind of familiar. Huh, probably nothing though. Either way, at this point in the fight, he'll actually start teleporting twice, which can trip you up the first time, but honestly isn't too bad. Now he's looping his lines. Also, at this point, get away from him! That shockwave there will kill you. Well, not kill you, it'll do damage, but for me, it'll kill me. At this point in the fight, he'll just jump to 3 specific points in the map, doing this thing. And the shockwave will still hurt you, but there are points where you can actually punch him with it. It goes in a pattern, really. Like I can damage him now, but not when it's big.
I felt that, Snake. Do you remember me now?
Can't be. You were killed in Zanzibar. What? Not again. What's happening?
Is it over?
Gray Fox. Colonel, that ninja is Gray Fox. No doubt about it.
Ridiculous. You of all people should know he died in Zanzibar.
No. He should have died, but he didn't.
What?
It happened before I joined Foxhound's medical staff. They were using a soldier for their gene therapy experiments.
I never heard that.
It happened right after you retired. My predecessor, Dr. Clark, was in charge.
Dr. Clark?
Yes. He started the gene therapy project.
And where is he now?
He was killed in an explosion in his lab 2 years ago.
So what about this soldier?
Apparently, for their test subject, they decided to use the body of a soldier who was recovered after the fall of Zanzibar.
And that was Gray Fox.
But he was already dead.
Yes. But they revived him. They fitted him with a prototype exoskeleton and kept him drugged for 4 years while they experimented on him like a plaything. Today's genome soldiers were born from those experiments.
That's the sickest thing I ever heard.
They used him to test all sorts of gene therapy techniques.
Naomi, why didn't you tell us about this sooner?
Because it's confidential information.
Is that the only reason?
Naomi, what happened to Gray Fox after that?
The record says he died in the explosion.
I see. But even if that ninja is Gray Fox, the question is, why?
From what I could tell, he didn't know who he was.
Are you saying that he's just a mindless robot?
I'm not sure, but he seems intent on fighting me to the death. We'll meet again. I know it.
So you'll fight again? Until you kill him?
I'd rather not. But maybe that's what he wants. How long are you gonna stay in there?
Are you one of them?
No, I'm not. I always work alone.
Alone? Are you an otaku too?
Come on, get out. We can't stay here forever.
Your uniform is different than theirs.
You're the Metal Gear Chief Engineer, Hal Emmerich, right?
You know me?
I heard about you from Meryl.
Oh, so you're here to rescue me?
Sorry, but no. There's something that I've got to do first.
Oh, well, at least you're not one of them.
Are you hurt?
Oh, I'm okay. I just twisted my ankle a little bit trying to get away.
Well, if that's all, it's nothing to worry about. I want to ask you something. I need information about Metal Gear.
Huh? Metal Gear?
Yeah. What's Metal Gear really designed for?
It's a mobile TMD. It's designed to shoot down nuclear missiles. Only for defensive purposes, of course.
Fire. I already know that Metal Gear is nothing but a nuclear-equipped walking deathmobile.
Nuclear? What are you talking about?
The terrorists are planning to use Metal Gear to launch a nuclear missile. You telling me you didn't know?
They're gonna put a dismantled warhead into Metal Gear's TMD missile module?
Wrong. From the beginning, the purpose of this exercise was to test Metal Gear's nuclear launch capability using a dummy nuclear warhead. The terrorists are just continuing the work you started.
No, you're wrong.
I heard it directly from your boss, Baker.
No. A nuclear missile on Rex?
So you really didn't know?
No. All the armament was built by a separate department, and the President personally supervised the final assembly of the main unit.
President Baker?
Yeah. I was never told exactly what they armed Rex with. I only know it's equipped with a Vulcan cannon, a laser, and a railgun.
By the way, the rest of this part is cutscenes.
A railgun, you said?
Yeah. It uses magnets to fire bullets at extremely high velocities. The technology was originally developed for the SDI system and later scrapped. We were successful in miniaturizing it in a joint venture between Arms Tech and Rivermore National Labs. The railgun is on Rex's right arm.
Metal Gear's main function is to launch nuclear missiles. You sure you're not forgetting something?
It's true that Metal Gear has a missile module on its back that can carry up to 8 missiles, but are you saying it was originally meant to carry nuclear missiles?
Yeah, but that's not all I think. If Metal Gear fired only standard nuclear missiles, then they should already have all the practical data they need.
No. Could it be? Metal Gear's co-developer, Rivermore National Labs, was working on a new type of nuclear weapon. They were using NOVA and NIF laser nuclear fusion testing equipment and supercomputers.
So they developed a new type of nuclear weapon in a VR testing lab, huh?
Yes, but you can't use virtual data on a battlefield. They would need actual launch data. These are some of the supercomputers. If you link these, you can test everything in a virtual environment. But it's all just theoretical.
So this exercise was designed to test the real thing.
What did our president do? If the terrorists launched that thing... Damn. Damn. I'm such a fool. It's all my fault. The truth is, my grandfather was part of the Manhattan Project. He suffered with the guilt for the rest of his life. And my father, he was born on August 6th, 1945.
The day of the Hiroshima bomb. God's got a sense of humor, all right.
3 generations of Emmerich men. We must have the curse of nuclear weapons written into our DNA. I used to think that I could use science to help mankind, but the one that wound up getting used was me. Using science to help mankind, it's just in the movies.
That's enough crying. Pull yourself together. Where is Metal Gear? Where on this base are they keeping it?
Rex is in the underground maintenance base.
Where's that?
North of the communications tower, but it's a long way there.
The emergency override system for the detonation code is there too?
Yeah, in the maintenance base control room. You'd better hurry. If they were planning a launch from the start, then their ballistic program is probably finished. And since they haven't called for me in a few hours, they must not need me. In other words, they must be ready to launch.
Meryl's got the detonation code override keys. We'll link up with her.
If we can't override the launch, we'll have to destroy Rex. I'll show you the way.
On that leg of yours, you'll just slow me down.
You'll need me if you're gonna destroy Rex.
I don't need you. I just need your brain.
I created Rex. It's my right, my duty to destroy him.
If you get a chance, try to escape. When the coast is clear, I'll contact you by codec.
How am I supposed to escape from an island?
Okay.
So what then?
I want you to hide somewhere and keep me informed. You know this place well, don't you?
Of course I do. And don't worry, I've got this. It's the same stealth technology as the Ninja. Foxhound was gonna use them, but with this I'll be fine. Bad leg and all.
Good. But I want Meryl to watch after you too.
Meryl, the engineer's okay.
That's a relief.
I want you to look after him. Where are you now?
Very close.
There she is! Over there!
Oh no! Damn, they've spotted me.
Meryl, what happened?
Something's wrong.
Did you hear something? Wasn't that some kind of music?
What did she look like?
She was wearing the same green uniform as the terrorists.
A disguise?
She had such a cute way of walking. She kind of wiggles her behind.
You were really looking.
Well, she's got a very cute behind.
Way of walking, huh?
That's a hint.
If she's disguised as the enemy, you'll have to contact her when she's alone, huh? There's only one place where we can be sure she's by herself.
Where's that?
Don't be so dense. Here, use this security card. It's security level 4.
You're not in pain, are you?
Huh?
You feel okay? Nothing bothering you?
What's wrong? Getting all friendly all of a sudden.
No, nothing. I'm glad you're okay.
You're strange.
I'm a little nervous. Everyone else I've saved suddenly dies.
You're bad luck.
Forget it, Doctor.
Call me Otacon.
Otacon?
It stands for Otaku Convention.
Nerd! Nerd!
An otaku's a guy like me who likes Japanimation. Japan was the first country to successfully make bipedal robots. They're still the best in the field of robotics.
And Japanese cartoons played some part in that?
They did. I didn't get into science to make nuclear weapons, you know.
That's what all scientists say.
I became a scientist because I wanted to make robots like the ones in the Japanese animes. Really, it's true.
Just sounds like a childish excuse to me.
You're right. We have to take responsibility. Science has always thrived on war. Greatest weapons of mass destruction were created by scientists who wanted to be famous. But that's all over now. I won't take part in murder anymore.
Whatever. All I want from you is information.
Sure. I know everything about this whole base. Ask me anything about Rex or about this place. Also, with this stealth camouflage, I can sneak in and out of the armory and mess hall. If you need ammo or rations, just tell me and I'll bring them to you. I'm on frequency 141.12. See you later.
Good lord, this game's cutscenes are starting to hurt me with their length. Either way, the anime footage you saw during that last part of the cutscene and the posters on the back wall here are actually from something entirely not original, or original rather. They are from another Hideo Kojima game called Police Knots. It's sadly Japan exclusive on the NEC PC 9821, the 3DO, PlayStation, and Sega Saturn. But there is a fan translation of it. I think Slowbeef, of all people, was actually involved in making that. And it's a pretty interesting point-and-click adventure game from what I heard. Either way, with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 4, we'll be having more long cutscenes, but also progressing, so that means things, right? See you guys then.